Hello and welcome from Independence Community Ice. I'm Gabe Daniel, joined alongside Jack Maurice, where it's a Friday night matchup between the Kansas Jayhawks and the Omaha Mavericks. Kansas coming into this weekend 2-4-0 on the year, and then Omaha coming in 2-3-1. That one overtime loss came last night to Dallas Baptist University, as they had a late night game where they lost 3-2 in overtime to the Patriots, and then they hit the road to Independence, Missouri, where Kansas coming in off a win against Creighton where they were able to split that series, as that was a big momentum shifter, as that obviously adds to the excitement for this weekend. The starting lineup for the Kansas Jayhawks, it'll be number 16 Tyler Nelson at center, with Caleb Dusso and Riley Vitullo at the wing, and then back at the blue line it'll be Zach Roberts and Blake Hearn. Roberts, one of those tall, lengthy defensemen from Orleans, Massachusetts, who right now is a point-per-game player. He has 6 assists on the year, and that's a big step from last year as well. And then in net it'll be none other than senior goaltender Mitch Miles. Jack, I'll go ahead and bring you in here. What does Kansas have to do to get it out early?
Oh, easily we got to put the pressure on them. I mean, Omaha had a late game last night. They're tired from that. We got to make sure that Kansas is putting on the pressure and trying to get a lead quick and early, get them down. They're already tired. If we can keep putting the pressure on them, get them demoralized, it's going to be a quick and easy game for the Jayhawks, and we can push that up here.
As it looks like we're getting the pucks cleaned up here from warm-ups, as the starting lineups are being announced here inside Independence Community Ice. As it's the first game of a 2-game weekend series, and it looks like in goal for the Omaha Mavericks, it'll be number 35, Kyle Wernley. And then it looks like for the Mavericks, if I can see correctly from this angle, it'll be number 44, Logan Mercier. Number 23, Matt Howell. Having a hard time trying to see the numbers of the starting lineup for the Mavericks. I do apologize. Again, it's tough adjusting to this corner angle. I know we've already had it for a few weekends now, but still, it's not the biggest friend here.
Mavericks seem to be a big fan of our corner early on in the game, kind of shooting everywhere but the net, mostly hitting our corner.
Yeah, you know, it happens, but we'll go ahead and step aside here for the national anthem. That'll do it for the anthem. Both teams will strap those helmets back on and head back toward the bench to get one last word of motivation from their coaches.
I think it's going to be a really interesting game tonight. Kansas and Omaha both have pretty similar records, so they're both going to be fighting to try and keep those up here. Kansas coming off of the split last week in Creighton. I think this is going to be a great opportunity for them to kind of even it up try and reach 500 here.
Again, we want to thank everyone for joining us here. I know late night in the fog is happening tonight. You know, we're not Florida, but hopefully we'll be able to deliver an exciting call for you guys to make up for it.
I am lucky I have floor access tickets to Gabe Daniel here at Independence Community Ice. Nothing more I could really ask for. So lucky.
As the face-off is won by the Jayhawks, and they'll quickly dump it in. As it's Casiapo quickly getting it away. He's going to move it into the zone right to Mitch Miles, and we get an early stop here. And you can just hear in the background the Omaha bench. They're already fired up.
Omaha is starting out real fast here, even with them having their game last night. They're still going to push out, try and get a lead on the Jayhawks here.
So it looks like the Jayhawks able to get it away, as that's going to be the team captain, number 11. Duso chips it into the corner, racing after it. Vitullo, but he's going to be beat there by number 23. That's Matt Howell. As the Jayhawks hold it in, Vitullo centered it over to Duso, who tried to get it over to Nelson, but it's going to be taken away by Kozel. Kozel dumps it in. And no icing, as it was number 44, Logan Mercier, able to beat it. Mercier in the corner. Pressured off the puck by Nelson. Nelson passed it back, and a headman pass up to Vitullo. Got it out of the zone as Vitullo got it back over to Nelson. Nelson coming in as the slot, rips it, and a save made there by Wernley. As we get a stoppage here with 19:06 left to go in period number 1.
What a shot by Nelson there. Just dangling and past all of them, getting that great shot. It really looks like Omaha is very alert right now. They're looking for the open pass here. Jayhawks really have to speed up their game against a team that just played last night.
It looked like Medina tossed the faceoff up. He gets the puck back, and a shot sent wide as it's going to wrap around the boards. And Luke Nessa unable to hold the line as it just took a weird bounce over his stick, but he'll get a cross-ice pass over to Breyer, who got it up to Feeney. Feeney lost control as it's taken away by Hoffman. Hoffman then poked off the puck, and the Jayhawks get it back in the corner. It's Breyer trying to wrap it around. And he'll get it right back. Center around the boards, gets it up to Feeney. Feeney trying to get it over to Siddons. Instead it gets to Medina. Medina able to shelter that one over to Siddons. Now Brett Siddons moving in. Up shot and a glove save by Wernley as he flashes the leather early on. So quite a bit of back and forth action here, as it was a great opportunity by the freshman forward from Waconia, Minnesota. Another Jayhawk face-off win. Back to Medina. Took a shot right away as that's blocked to the corner, and Medina will get it right back. Medina pressured off the puck there. Lost an edge in the corner. Able to secure a pass over to Nessa. Nessa ripped one from the point, but it was blocked up front, and it'll wrap around the other corner. Feeney got it right back. Up to the slot as Siddons couldn't connect there, and the Jayhawks still holding the puck into the zone as Feeney wrapped it around. But it's going to be picked up there by number 22, Nate Sinnott. Sinnott skates it around. He'll try a backhand pass up over to Huppy, as it's going to be sent back in right to the tape of Voorhees. Now a breakaway for number 11. Try a backhand shot kicked away by Miles, and we get a stoppage here as it looks like the net came off.
Not a great play by the Jayhawks there, leaving that pass wide open for the other team. It was more just kind of left alone there as they were going in for a shot, but gave Omaha a really great scoring opportunity here. Jayhawks have to be on top of that tonight.
So 17:43 left to go. Shots are 2-1 in favor of the Jayhawks, as we're still tied at 0 here. Zoe Zadakis wrapping it around the board, gets it over to Zach Schubert. Schubert's headman pass connects with Fantoni. Fantoni to Zadakis, and Zadakis at the blue line got pressured a little bit, so that forces an uncomfortable dump into the zone. As this going to be banked off the board. Schubert trying to chip it into the zone. Zadakis trying to keep possession for the Jayhawks, but it trickles out. Cole Walsh sending it right back in. Now Schubert again. He'll throw it to the corner. Racing after it was Friedhoff. Held in by Walsh. Walsh to Friedhoff. Lost control of the puck, and it's going to be taken by number 4, Jace Paul. Another great job there by Schubert holding the line. As the Jayhawks have it back behind the net, a pass up front intended there on the doorstep to Zadakis, goes right to Wernley, and he'll hang on for a whistle here.
What a phenomenal shift by Schubert there, keeping the puck in, making those last-second opportunities. Would really love to see him get a goal tonight. He's really putting in the extra effort, making sure that plays are still going, and really making a big difference for the Jayhawks tonight.
And a little special birthday shout-out to the Jayhawk wearing number 17, Zach Schubert. Already having a heck of a start for his birthday. As the face-off is won back over to Roberts. He wrapped it around the boards to Vitullo. Vitullo in the corner with it. Pass it up to Nelson. Now Nelson will curl around. He'll look for an open man. It's secured over to Hearn. Hearn will wrap it around the boards. And it's going to be taken away by the Mavericks. But Vitullo with it. Pressured off the puck by Casiopo, but it ends up going right to Duccio before the Mavericks get it right back. As it's going to be skated out there by Kozel. Kozel still with it, tries to pass it to the back door. Unable to connect there. As they'll corral it in the corner. It's Mercier with it, pressured off by Roberts, who got it to Nelson. Nelson tried to backhand it up to Vitullo, but Casiopo got there first and wrapped it around. And a bouncing puck will go right over to the Jayhawks as they're able to get it out of the zone. But it goes right back over to number 40 for the Mavericks, Troy Hunsicker. As that's passed across over to Howell. His headman pass couldn't quite connect there with Kozel, so it goes all the way back, and Mitch Miles will cover it up for a whistle.
Nelson with a great play in the offensive zone there. His skating was tremendous, keeping that puck in and giving the Jayhawks that extra opportunity. I really think that this has been the game of extra opportunities for the Jayhawks, keeping it in, putting in the extra effort against this Mavericks team who's getting pretty tired. And if we can keep going.
So this time the faceoff goes right to the Jayhawks. The headman pass intended for Connor Brace goes right to the tape of Nate Sinnott, who sent it out. There's a shot blocked up front, and it's going to be Brace with it. Brace lost control. Button hooking around with the puck was Hoffman. Hoffman tried to toe drag around one man. Pass it over to Huppy. Now Huppy lost control. Brace took it away, and it looks like we get a stoppage here for offsides.
Great play by the Jayhawks here, keeping the pressure on them, putting the body on them. I really think it's going to come back to tiring them out. They're really pushing a lot of energy tonight, putting the body on them, moving the puck fast here. It's going to be really important for the Jayhawks to try and outspeed them and out-energize them.
So the puck sent over, intended for Barker, but it's going to be the Mavericks starting a little domination on this shift. As the Jayhawks trying to get it out. It looks like they were able to do that. And it's going to be redirected by number 13, Caleb Williams. So back on the puck for the Jayhawks, it's going to be Breyer. Try to headman pass. But it's to be quickly taken back there by number 43, Wesley Sikora. And another save made here by Mitch Miles.
Miles really hasn't had a lot of action come towards his way. He's had a couple of backdoor shots, but nothing too crazy. I think Miles is going to have a really great game tonight as long as the Jayhawks defense can make it much easier on them. Doesn't really seem like the Mavericks are getting a lot of shots on net so far, but that can always change.
So the Jayhawks able to get out of the zone as it's going to be Siddons with it. Siddons trying to curl through the zone as it's going to be over to Feeney. Shoots one, and a save made there by Wormley.
Great shot there by Feeney. He was left completely open on that. Nobody was on him, but definitely needs to just hit the back of the net there. But still, great play.
So Siddons was able to win the face-off over to Feeney. Now Feeney with it. Tries a shot through traffic. Blocked up front by Siddons. And Siddons will collect it and got it over to Schubert. The Jayhawks starting to move the puck around. Schubert Pass across to Walsh. Walsh trying to tip it up to Gerber and goes over the net there. And Feeney racing right back after it in the corner. As it's Gerber with it. He gets knocked down. Puck over to Feeney. Now Feeney. Off the boards, pass to Gerber. Now Gerber curling around to Schubert. Now Schubert was able to advance the puck up deeper into the zone as it's going to be passed out by the Mavericks, intended for Max Sikora, but it goes a little too far, and Cole Walsh will win the race to the puck. As it goes up into the netting and out of play. That gets us another stoppage, this time with 13:40 left to go in the first.
Great tip earlier on that shot. The Jayhawks are definitely doing a lot better than they were earlier with the puck awareness. It really seems they're more aware of what's going on, where the puck is. I think they were missing a lot of crucial plays. A lot of players weren't really understanding where the puck was at the time. That's going to be great for their offense tonight.
As the Jayhawks have it now, Cole Walsh, his headman pass, intended for Siddons. As he's going to move into the zone at the right side, gets knocked down, and the puck will go to Zadakis. Zadakis around to Schubert. Schubert still with it. Pass up front to Zadakis, a shot unable to get on net, pass in the slot once more, and then Zadakis will have it at the hash marks. Over to Roberts, back to Zadakis, had to boggle the puck down a little bit, a shot as he fell right to Wernley, and another whistle here, this time with 13:03 left to go.
Great play by Zadakis here. It does really seem like Omaha is feeling pretty fatigued, more or less just clogging up a lot of the passing zones here. It really seems like they can't make it in between to block the pass, so they just go and clog up the zone and put the body on them.
So it looks like the faceoff was tied up, intended to be tossed over to Zadakis, but it's going to be quickly skated out by the Mavericks as it was Chubb. Took a shot, went high, rides the glass around, and the Mavericks have to regroup. Zadakis able to poke the puck away, but quickly on it, it's going to be Paul. Across over to O'Laughlin. As it's going to be Zadakis who takes it away to Roberts. Roberts trying to rip one from the blue line. It's going to be blocked up front. And the Mavericks wanted a penalty there, but that's just a hockey play. As it was dumped into the zone. Is this going to be skated up by Hearn? He'll dump it into the corner. That gets a much-needed change for the Jayhawks as they'll send that first line back out. As it was number 43, Sikora dumping it all the way down. And an icing on the Mavericks. So the faceoff will come all the way back.
Omaha wanting a weak penalty there. I mean, Robert's stature, he's 6'5", 220. If you bounce right off him, that's not on him, that's on you. I mean, his size and his stature, he is a monster on the ice. He can throw the body, and he can make sure you definitely feel it on there.
So the faceoff won by the Mavericks, and another icing just about 7 seconds after.
Like I was saying earlier, Omaha's getting pretty chippy here. They're getting lazy with it. You can tell that they're getting tired pretty quickly on. I mean, they've just been pushing the body on them. That's all they really can do. They don't have the speed right now. It doesn't really seem like they have any effort in this. They're just pushing the body around and seeing what they can do.
So the faceoff goes right to Fatul on the backhand. Puck loose in the crease. And Wernley somehow gets on top of that one and keeps the Jayhawks off the board.
What a save by Worley there, just keeping it on, making sure he knows where the puck is. I mean, the Jayhawks were just crushing the net, and somehow that stays out.
So phenomenal job there by number 35, Kyle Wernley. As just everybody was in the slot, and they were able to keep the Jayhawks off the board. And a great job holding the line there by Breyer. Caleb Dusa was able to help him out too, but the Mavericks able to get it out successfully this time, as it was Nessa sent it all the way back, and it's going to be Howell having a regroup with the Mavericks. Howell, headman pass up over to number 44. That's Mercier in the corner. Mercier pressured off the puck there by Nessa. Nessa trying to wrap it around the boards to get it out, but the Mavericks dump it right back in. Now in the corner, a bank pass over to Howell. Across over to Hunsicker. Is this going to be back behind the net? Around the corner, Hunsaker with it again. Cross ice to Howell. His shot hit the stick of Miles. And it'll be held on to for a whistle.
Great positioning by Miles there. He's keeping his eye on the puck, doing his job right. He's making those timely saves, which are working out real well for the Jayhawks. That last pass there, I mean, it was still a weak shot, but Miles is still there, keeping itself positioned correctly in the net. Is making it real easy for the Jayhawks to keep it on this game here.
So another Jayhawk face-off win. This one came back to Barker, who tried to send it out of the zone. Now Barker skating it up on the right side. He'll chip it into the zone. Took a weird bounce. So the Mavericks able to get a pass up over to Hoffman. Hoffman on the left side. He's going to be pressured there by Schubert. And it looks like a stoppage here, and the net came off once more.
Jayhawks have been great on the face-off tonight. They've been winning a lot of those here tonight. A couple weeks ago, over at the Oklahoma State game, you saw how important those face-off wins can be and how much offense that generated. If the Jayhawks can keep pushing in on that and get those face-offs wins, it's going to create a lot of offense, and it's going to get them out of a lot of the sticky defensive situations tonight. It's going to be real important for them to improve and keep being consistent with their dominance on the face-off.
So in the corner, it's going to be the Mavericks with it, as they'll try to wrap it around. Getting pressured there was Huppy. Shot short side, took a weird bounce, and they'll get out of the zone, so the Mavericks do have to regroup. And there's a nice hit there by Barker right in front of the bench. Carney joining the physicality there, as it was a headman pass up to Brace, who got it over to Barker. Barker on the right side, he's going to be shaked off the puck there, and then chipped back behind the net. Connor Brace couldn't quite get there in time. Is this going to be sent back over to number 14? Now Brett Siddon's going to join the rush here, but it's sent out of the zone all the way back, and Miles will come out to play it. Miles wrapped it around. Hoffman got there first for the Mavericks, and it's going to be thrown back in on net by Sinnott. Miles left it for Schubert. Now Schubert. His headman pass up to Feeney. Feeney couldn't make a move around one man, but he got the backhand pass over to Medina. Medina trying to settle it for Siddons. Medina getting hold down there, but play will continue. Is this going to be a headman pass up over to Hoffman? Hoffman trying to get it cross ice, but Roberts able to intercept that. He sent it into the zone, and it's going to be cross ice over to number 16. Around the net over to number 22. The headman pass will go all the way back. And an icing called here with 9:08 left to go in the first period.
I really do wonder here as the game goes on how much they're going to start calling these penalties here. As Omaha gets a lot more tired, they're going to start getting a lot chippier. This could be a great opportunity for the Jayhawks to kind of get their power play working.
So the face-off taken by the Mavericks this time. It's going to be wrapped around the boards, intended for number 19, Gabe Chubb. But Siddons will pick it back up. He'll skate it through the neutral zone, so the Jayhawks have to get back onside. Medina stopped, try to get a pass across. Roberts to Medina, a bouncing puck there. And then Wernley tried to play it, but Medina has it right back. Medina to Feeney. Feeney in the corner, able to move around number 24. That was O'Laughlin. The Jayhawks get it back as Feeney try to center it to the slot. Medina right there to take it away. As Medina has it again. In the deep slot, he'll move closer towards the net, trying to get it over to Siddons, and it's going to be taken away there by number 22, Nate Sinnott. Sinnott, he'll loft it into the zone. It'll wrap around the boards, and Travis Breyer will get it for the Jayhawks. As it's dumped out of the zone, Howell on it. Catching it right back after a pass from Hunsaker. As Howell will dump it back in. It's going to wrap around the boards. It's going to be picked up by Nessa. Nessa getting pressured off the puck. As it was lofted up into the zone. And an icing call here. Instead, no. Zadakis able to beat the race over to Fantoni. Fantoni back behind the net, able to bank it off the boards to Breyer. Breyer toe drags, gets hauled down, and that'll get called. And a Jayhawk power play.
What a misplay by Omaha there, not getting the icing and getting the penalty on that. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how they managed to get that. You heard one of their players yelling, leave it, it's icing. And they just let it go.
So 7:41 left to go. Period number 1. Jayhawks sending out power play unit 1. As Nelson won the faceoff, back over to Duso. Duso across over to Siddons. Back to Duso. The team captain in the deep slot will send it over to Tyler Nelson. Nelson to Nessa. Nessa in the corner, out over to Nelson. As Nelson will carry it towards the deep slot. He'll look for something to do with it. A pass over to Siddons. The Jayhawks starting to get a lot of traffic going. And the Mavericks able to poke it out of the zone.
Omaha's really clogging up these lanes here, making sure the Jayhawks power play aren't able to make any passes tonight.
So Nelson able to get a pass over to Duso. Duso pressured off the puck. And Nelson unable to hold the line. So it'll be Zadakis picking it back up for the Jayhawks. Zadakis leaving it for Siddons, who's going to come in on the right side. Now Siddons still with it. Coasting around, shoots, and a save made by Wernley.
Great play by Siddons there again. I mean, the Jayhawks are doing a great job of making sure those shooting lanes are open. I mean, Siddons had a wide open shot there. Still a good shot on net, but Jayhawks are making some good efforts with the power play tonight.
So a face-off tied up. Left for Zadakis, who sent it over to Nelson at the blue line. A saucer pass over to Nessa. Nessa waiting. He'll get it back over to Duso. Duso across to Nelson. Nelson to Siddons. So the Jayhawks creating movement again. Trying to get a flurry of chaos going for their favor. Is this going to be Nessa to Duso? Duso waiting. Ripping one. Tipped up front by Nessa. And the rebound picked up by Tyler Nelson. Nelson a saucer pass to Duso. Duso from the deep slot. Shot up front. Sent wide. And it'll be number 44, Logan Mercier, dumping it all the way down. Is this going to be the headman pass? Picked up by Siddons. Left for Zadakis, across to Duso. Now Duso around the boards, up to Siddons, trying to center it. And Nelson will have it in the deep slot, and a stoppage here as the net came off.
Throughout the first period here, you could definitely see Wernley messing with the side of the net there. I think they might need to check that out at intermission. He's kind of screwing with it, putting it back on. You kind of tell that was going to play a factor in having a random stoppage tonight.
And, you know, something about the nets coming off has been a factor the last couple of weekends. I think it's more of a rink issue as Nessa's with it in the slot, backhanding it, poked off the puck there. And it'll be Casiopo sending it all the way back, and that'll pretty much do it for the Kansas power play. It was plenty of great opportunities. Jayhawks just couldn't capitalize. It's going to be Nelson making a nifty move there. Nelson still with it. Toe drags around one man. Still with it. Nelson on a mission, and he's going to be pressured off the puck here. But it's going to be Mercier feigning on the pass. Siddons able to poke it away. It's going to be taken by Nelson. Curls back. Toe drag. Shot sent wide. And Hearn will crank it in. That one also pinched to the corner as it's going to be Gerber trying to poke it away for the Jayhawks, but it'll be Casiopo sitting it out. And the Jayhawks dump it back in. Racing after it is Gerber. Gerber able to shake off one hit. It's going to be picked up there by Sikora. The Jayhawks holding it in as it's Roberts moving in. Left it for Medina. Feeney with it now. Threw it to the corner. Trying to get right back to it. And Roberts will secure it there for Feeney. Now Feeney to Gerber. Gerber back behind the net, pressured off the puck. It's going to go to Medina. So the Jayhawks doing a great job maintaining control of it as Medina curls around in the slot, tries a shot up front, blockered away there by Wernley. Sent out. And it's going to be kicked into the air by Blake Hearn. And then quickly skated out by Kozel. Kozel moving in, tries a shot and off the back door, and they score. So looked like number 44, Logan Mercier, on the back door, with the assist going to number 3, Andrew Kozel. And the Mavericks open up the game with 4:25 left to go in period number 1.
I mean, it's hard to defend against that 2-on-0 there. One of the Jayhawks didn't catch who, ended up blowing a tire, which definitely doesn't help. I mean, it's going to be hard for the Jayhawks to come back here, but if they keep mounting the pressure that they have been, it'll be great.
So a great job there by Zadakis applying the pressure. Friedhoff just couldn't get a shot on net, and it'll be Hoffman skating it down for the Mavericks on the left wing. Hoffman tried a shot, Miles kicked it away as the puck was still loose, and it's thrown to the corner where Cole Walsh will try to get it out for the Jayhawks. Wrapped around over to Zadakis. Zadakis able to get it up over to Fantoni. Fantoni on the right side, able to get around one man. Now Fantoni moving in, tries a backhand shot kicked away there by Wernley, and blowing a tire right there was Friedhoff. And the puck will go over to Max Sikora. Sikora on the right wing, he'll dump it in as it's going to be sent around over to Ryan Huppy. In the corner, Walsh trying to get it out. Unable to do so as it was held in by Voorhees. The Jayhawks struggling in their own defensive zone. Is this going to be Friedhoff? He was able to get it out as it was left for Fantoni. Now Fantoni waiting, passing, and try to get it to Vitullo, and it's just thrown a little wide. It'll be taken here by number 21, Ryan Huppy. Now Huppy's pass across over to number 13. We'll send the puck back over to O'Loughlin. He banked it out of the zone as it's Schubert for the Jayhawks getting over to Nelson. Nelson shot in the slot, kicked away by Wernley. Nelson picking up his own rebound. He's pressured in the corner. Nelson still with it as it's thrown to the point. Breyer with it, trying to throw it to the slot. It'll be to the corner or the hash marks there for Vitullo, who took a weird collision and he's favoring his ankle. As he did go into the boards a weird way. And he's able to skate off on his own power, which is good.
Just a scary fall there. You never want to see that happen. You also got to wonder at some point of how the ice quality is here. You see a lot of the players falling, tripping, everything in between. You got to wonder if something has to do with that.
So Vitullo skating to the bench gingerly. That'll be something to keep an eye on as he's really favoring that right ankle of his. And again, it was just the way he went into the boards. It was kind of ankle first, even after he fell. But the Jayhawks able to get the puck into the zone. It'll be John Feeney moving up into the lineup to take the spot of Vitullo until he's back to feeling good enough to put more weight on that right foot.
Good to see Vitullo staying down on the bench there. He's staying in the game. He's going to keep playing. He's a warrior.
So 2:13 left to go. Mavericks leading 1-0. As it was Hunsicker with it, threw it into the net, and Mitch Miles will hang on for another stoppage.
It does really seem like Omaha is really putting pressure, being real physical here. That way they're really not having to do a lot there. If they keep putting the pressure on them, they're going to keep putting the bodies. The Jayhawks have to respond. It's getting harder and harder to make those passes when they're really clogging up those lanes, and they're just positioned just right. They don't really have to do a lot of work.
So the face-off goes right over to Jack Gerber, and he'll skate it up over to Medina, who couldn't quite get the pass off, but the puck finds its way back over to Siddons. Now Siddons moves it in. It'll ride the boards. And it's going to be intercepted there by Medina. Medina pressured off the puck there, got it right back as it was passed up front to Gerber, trying to leave it back to Hearn. Shoots! Blocked up front, and it's going to be Mercier trying to skate it out. And a penalty called here on the Jayhawks. It'll be tripping. And it's going to be number 19, Blake Hearn, heading to the box.
Even though a penalty was called there, great awareness by the Jayhawks to try and get the man behind them. Unfortunately, the net was pretty clogged, so it didn't really seem like a shot was really going to be able to make it through. But they're still making some great plays here. They're getting those last-second opportunities to try and get a shot on the net here.
So again, Hearn, 2 minutes for tripping, sends the Mavericks on the power play for the first time tonight. as it's number 22, Nate Sinnott with it. He'll take a tumble there in front of the Jayhawk bench with Zach Zadakis, and it's going to be a headman pass a little too high in the air. And Tyler Nelson applying some great pressure there. As it's going to be wrapped around over to Sinnott. Sinnott from behind his own net. Left it for Hunsaker. Hunsaker through center ice. He'll head towards the right wing before trying to button hook around at the hash marks, and it's going to be taken away by Nelson. Now Nelson with speed at the right wing. Curls with it still and gets taken down. Trying to cut to the crease, and you can see him wanting a call there. Rightfully so, and he'll still give the referee an earful. As there's a battle on the far end, a headman pass. Instead it'll be just a dump by the Jayhawks. 8 seconds left to go as it's going to be skated up there by Howell through center ice, and that'll pretty much do it for period number 1. The Mavericks will skate off with a 1-0 lead, and when we come back for period number 2, they will have about 35 seconds left on their power play. Again, I'm Gabe Daniel, joined alongside Jack Maurice. We'll be back in just a little bit for period number 2 of game number 1. Hello and welcome back for period number 2. It's the Omaha Mavericks heading back out onto the ice with a 1-0 lead. They also begin the second with a 35-second power play, as it's Blake Hearn who's in the box for Kansas.
I think the Jayhawks really have to make a change in how they're going to go about doing things here. Omaha has done a really good job of blocking up a lot of the passing lanes and a lot of the scoring opportunities. The Jayhawks really have to keep pushing here and try to keep getting around that. They need to get fast. Omaha is putting the bodies on them, but their speed hasn't really been shown by many players. We've had a couple of good breakaways by Omaha, but if the Jayhawks can outpace them here and create some great opportunities, the 1-0 lead is going to be short-lived.
Again, Gabe Daniel here, joined alongside Jack Maurice. As it's late night in cable dominant. Performance by me. As it's going to be the Mavericks with it in their own zone. As it's going to be passed across and then quickly sent back out by Breyer, but held in there by number 23. His shot blocked up front. Now Duso will use the boards there to send it out. And it'll be Wernley using that stick of his to leave it behind the net. Is this going to be the Mavericks now? Kozel, the headman pass intended for Cassioppo. And a great penalty kill here by the Jayhawks. And there's going to be a penalty on Zach Roberts. And it looks like it'll be on an elbow. But I guess that's just what happens when you have a height difference like that.
I think his stature really does kind of, I don't want to say overcompensate, but more over-exaggerate what he ends up doing. I mean, Omaha's been physical all game. Hasn't really been many penalties. But I don't know. I think it just depends on how much they're going to be calling here with how physical it's going to get.
So the face-off won by the Jayhawks. Sent right back over to Nessa, and he'll use the boards to send it all the way back. And it's going to be picked up there by Nate Sinnott. Sinnott from behind his own net, waiting to make the play. Is this going to be passed across, intended for Cassioppo? Sent the other way by Hearn. And it's going to be a foot race for the puck. Instead, it'll go all the way back over to Wernley, who will backhand it around over to Sinnott. Sinnott getting pressured there in the corner by Siddons. Forces the puck over to number 21, Ryan Huppy, and he'll skate it up. Before it's poked back out of the zone by Zadakis, a toe drag move. Quickly back over to Huppy and a cross-ice pass to Cassioppo. A shot kicked away there by Miles to the corner. Cassioppo on the rebound, and he gets it over to Hunsicker. Hunsicker left it for Chubb, and a shot turned aside by Miles. As it's going to be Hunsicker with it again. Poked away there by Hearn. Over to Siddons. Now Siddons in the corner. Zadakis goes to help him out and sends it all the way back, and that'll get a much-needed clear for the Jayhawks.
Great kill by the Jayhawks here. They're keeping it out. They're getting a lot of chances. It almost looks effortless for them, the way that they've been moving this around.
As it's going to be skated up there. Pass into the zone, and a shot just grazing off the glove of Miles. And Nessa able to saucer it to himself before getting a pass over to Tyler Nelson. Now Nelson through center. At the back door, lost control of the puck, thrown to the corner, and the Mavericks take it back. About 18 seconds left to go on the penalty handed out over to Roberts. As the Mavericks have time for one last rush on this power play of theirs, as it's Mercier, stops, waits. The pass intercepted there by Nelson. Nelson in the clear all alone, shooting, and he scores! Tyler Nelson ties things up right as the penalty expires, and we're even here at 1 with 17:12 left to go.
Tyler Nelson has been so dominant tonight. He's had a lot of great opportunities. I mean, you saw in the first period the way that he's been getting those breakaways, the way that he's been pushing through, dangling around guys. I mean, this is so well-deserved for him. I've been really rooting for him to get a point tonight. It's just amazing. He's been so dominant this game, and it really does show here. I'm excited to see how he's going to follow that up I know he's going to keep pushing here, keep doing what he was doing earlier, and really get ahead of those guys.
So the 7th goal of the year for Tyler Nelson and 33rd of his career. And it looks like the referee is having a conversation here with the Omaha bench. It looked like there might have been a delayed penalty on that, as there seems to be a little bit of conversation here. And number 43, Wesley Sikora, will take a seat. Couldn't quite see a signal on what the call would have been by the referee, but either way, it's going to be a Kansas power play. As Sikora will sit for 2. So the face-off, Juan over to Duso. Duso getting it over to Zadakis. So Zadakis with it, back behind the net, trying to drop it towards the slot. And the Mavericks send it all the way back. Miles will settle it for Nelson. Over to Siddons. Siddons got it to Duso. Duso tried to get it back over to Zadakis, as it's Siddons with it again. As the puck bounces out of the zone. So the penalty handed out to Sikora was a slash, as there's just about minute 13 left to go on that power play for the Jayhawks, as Wernley will cover it up for a whistle as we get the stoppage here with 16:20 left to go.
Jayhawks have really come out guns blazing tonight. They've been really pushing it. The speed is just such a difference from the first period. It looks like the Jayhawks have been so much more dominant. They've been able to keep going and keep the pressure on Omaha. I think it's going to be really great for them to kind of get more opportunities, get some more offensive zone, and there's nothing more we can really ask for.
And it looks like Brett Siddons will head to the box. So it'll be 4-on-4 for the next minute and 8 seconds. As the faceoff is won back over to Nessa. Cross to Zadakis. Zadakis will skate it up on the right side. So sounds like Siddons for a cross check was the call here. Either way, it'll be Nelson. The backhand saucer pass over to Zadakis. Zadakis to Duso. Duso on the right side. He'll dump it in and he'll ride the boards around. And the Mavericks try to send it out. Is this going to be held in by Feeney? Tries a shot up high to the glove of Wernley for another stoppage.
What a reach by Wernley there. I mean, he flashed the leather on that one. That was a wide shot. I thought that was about to go in.
15:41 left to go in period number 2. Tied at 1. Kansas leading the shot column 8-6. Still 4-on-4 hockey for the next 30 seconds. And then it'll be a very brief Omaha power play. So the face-off won by the Mavericks. They're able to chip it out of the zone, but it's back over to Walsh. And the Jayhawks had to get back on side. As the Mavericks have it, it was Kozel trying to send it up over to Mercier, but it goes back behind the net, and Schubert will play it to Walsh. Now Walsh across to Vitullo. Vitullo stops, waits, tries a cross-ice pass to Walsh, but it goes up into the net and out of play.
Definitely a lot more high action this period than the last. Jayhawks and Mavericks are both flying early on.
Looks like the face-off won by Feeney. Over to Vitula, who got it back to Walsh. Ripped a shot from the blue line, and it's blocked away by Wernley. And the Mavericks are back to full strength. It's Kozel, headman pass up over to Casiopo, who got it across over to Howell. Does it miss the net? And it'll ride the boards out. So back behind the net, it's going to be picked up by Kozel. Kozel on the right side. Tries a shot up high. It'll ride the boards around and be sent back out. 10 seconds left to go on the penalty, handed out to Siddons. As it's picked up by Howell for the Mavericks. Howell stops. He'll curl back behind his own net before wrapping it around the boards over to Hunsaker. As the Jayhawks back to full strength, Siddons will head right to the bench, and Zach Zadakis will come out for the Jayhawks. It's a headman pass up to Mercier, and a great poke check there by Schubert. Miles played it to the corner. Now Zadakis with it in the corner. Stripped to the puck by Casiopo. Tried to throw it on net, but it's met there in front by Breyer, who got the puck over to Schubert. And Schubert will skate it in. And it's going to be offsides there. A little bit of a miscue for the Jayhawks.
A couple of notes from those plays there. I mean, the Jayhawks and their face-offs have been so great tonight. They've been winning those face-offs and getting those important plays off there. I mean, you saw Feeney get that shot early on. I mean, it's very important for them to keep going here.
So the face-off, Juan over to do so. He chips it into the zone. It'll wrap around the boards, and it looks like Zadakis was joining the race there. Zadakis trying to send it to the slot, but it's going to be Nessa having to hold the line there. As Zadakis with it again. Fans on the shot, still with it, and it looks like the Mavericks will take it away. They try to get a cross-ice pass over to number 21, and it'll go right to Miles.
Jayhawks really making Omaha skate tonight. As you saw on that penalty kill, they've been wrapping it around. They've been making their players just skate around the entire ring, taking laps tonight. If the Jayhawks can keep putting this kind of fatigue on them and keep them running, even after their game last night, it's really going to pan out for them. They got to keep putting the pressure on them, get them tired, get them worn out, make them make dumb plays.
So the face-off Juan back over to Nessa. Try to send it around, and a nice use of the stick there by both Miles and Feeney, as the Jayhawks really need to get it out of the zone. And it looks like they will with Brett Siddons, and the stick flew pretty high up into the air. As it's going to be a shot by Siddons. Save made there by Wernley as the Jayhawks trying to hold it in. It was Nessa able to strip it away. That forces Omaha to have a weird break. And there was Breyer getting involved. So Breyer back behind his own net. He's able to saucer it over to Feeney. Feeney, the backhand pass over to Siddons. Siddons trying to use the boards to get it to Medina. No icing there as Medina was able to win the race. As the puck's wrapped around the boards, Nessa just rips it from the point, and it looks like a stoppage here with 12:38 left to go.
Omaha's been getting some pretty good breaks tonight, but otherwise it really has been all Jayhawks. They've been getting some great puck movement. They've been taking it away. They've just been playing so great. It's such a change from the first period and the dominance of the Mavericks. I mean, you saw earlier on the Mavericks were making some misplays behind the net there. Some of them were just standing behind. It really seems like they're getting worn out or either getting lazy.
So the face-off won by the Jayhawks. It was Fantoni with it, pressured off, and a shot by Hearn from the point. Friedhoff off the rebound, try to center it, but it's going to be the Mavericks taking it away. As this is going to be Friedhoff, who got it right back for the Jayhawks. Over to Hearn, who gets the headman pass to Fantoni, who quickly left it for Friedhoff. Friedhoff tried a shot right to the glove of Wernley. And another whistle here with 12:10 left to go.
Jayhawks are really putting the pressure here on Wernley, getting a lot more shots faced on him. He's been making some great saves, but the Jayhawks now, compared to how they were the first period, they've been giving him a lot more opportunities.
So right off the face-off, it was sent back to Friedhoff, who tried a shot. It's going to be turned away there by Wernley. The Mavericks send it out, but it's going to be Hearn throwing it right back in. There's the Mavericks getting it out of their zone once more. A bouncing puck. Couldn't quite get there to number 8, Greg Sachs, in time. So they'll dump it in. Miles left it behind the net for Hearn. The Mavericks with it again. Zadakis with it. A backhand pass over to Hearn, around the boards, trying to get it to Friedhoff, but instead it'll trickle out of the zone right to number 13, Williams, who dumped it in. Roberts across to Fantoni. Fantoni trying to get it to Friedhoff, but instead it'll be Casiopo taking it for the Mavericks as it's chipped into the zone. Roberts winning the foot race to the puck, gets it up over to Zadakis. And Zadakis will dump it in. That gets a much-needed change going for the Jayhawks, as it was Fantoni in the corner. Fantoni tried to settle it for Dusso, but is stripped away by the Mavericks. So Schubert with it now for Kansas. Tried a shot. It was blocked up front by Sikora, and they'll be sent around. Mavericks able to get it out of the zone, but it goes right to the tape of Riley Vitullo for the Jayhawks. Vitullo to Schubert. Cross sides, couldn't connect to Walsh, and it's going to be Casiopo for the Mavericks as he's stripped of the puck by Nelson. Now Nelson moving in, makes a move around one man. Nelson still with it, tried a shot. Short side, turned aside there by Wornley, and it's going to be Schubert holding the line there. He even got knocked down, but the Mavericks get it right back. So a lot of back and forth going on right here as it's a shot by Kozel, blocked up front by Walsh. Behind the net, Kozel with it. Instead, he'll try to do a wraparound. It's going to be poked away there by Schubert. Now Schubert gets knocked down behind the net, gets it over to Vitullo. Vitullo accepting the hit. Got him the puck up over to Nelson, and then Nelson lost control of it, and the Mavericks will get possession again. Floater from the blue line right to the glove of Miles, and a stoppage with 9:47 in period number 2.
I mean, whenever Nelson's on the ice, you could definitely tell the shift in offense. I mean, his skating has just been so incredible tonight. He's been making some great plays, and he's been making space. I mean, you saw that last Jayhawks offensive zone production there. You see him going down. He's been doing what he's been doing all game, dangling through guys, getting the shot off.
So the face-off won by Kansas, banked around the boards over to Feeney. As the Mavericks dump it back in. It was number 11 trying to wrap it around. Took a hit from Breyer. But the Mavericks still with it as it's Hoffman poked off the puck there. The headman pass up over to number 22. And a bouncing puck goes right to Miles. And we get another stoppage here, this time with 9:22.
The physicality over in the defensive end has been insane. I mean, you just saw a bunch of hits going on there. We saw one of the Omaha players almost get flown back into the bench. There's a lot more pressure being put on. There's a lot more bodies being thrown. It's going to be like this for the rest of the game.
As it's Siddons had his stick just slashed out of his hands, and it looks like that will be called, so it's going to be a delayed penalty. And a nice job there by Breyer. Threw the puck up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Richie, I hope you got that on video. That was good. I mean, that was just a blatant slash there. You saw the stick just get flung up into the air. There's going to be another opportunity for the Jayhawks.
So number 11, Max Sikora, heading into the box.
I really think we're going to see a lot more dumb penalties going on here. With the physicality going on, I think a lot more is going to start getting called.
And the Omaha bench wanting to plead their case, but it's not going to have much success here. So power play unit 1 for the Jayhawks back out onto the ice. And it's Juan back over to Nelson, to Dusso, to Nessa, who left it around for Siddons. As it's thrown around. And the Mavericks able to clear it all the way back. Miles will settle it down for Nelson. So Nelson across to Dusso. As Dusso will walk it in. Still head to the corner with it. Before trying to pass it up front to Nelson. Jamming home for the puck. Rather, that might have been Nessa up front. Either way, the Mavericks chip it all the way back down as it'll be Kozel with it. Kozel. And a penalty called here, a high stick on the Jayhawks as we look to see who the guilty party is. And it looks like it'll be number 10, Luke Nessa.
Not a good penalty to take there. I mean, his stick was all the way up. It was incredibly blatant what was going on. The Jayhawks have to be a lot more disciplined, especially when they're given this opportunity to be on the power play. Can't be taking those penalties, especially with a tie game.
So we'll be 4-on-4 again for the next minute 14. As the face-off is won by the Jayhawks. It's going to be Siddons with it. Siddons waits. He'll stop. He'll pass it back to Roberts. A shot trickled up high. It was loose in the crease. And Wernley making the save there.
The Mavericks are taking notice of Nelson there. If you saw on that offensive rush there, you saw a lot of the defensemen saying, cover him, cover him. I mean, Nelson was wide open. He was blazing down, doing what he's been doing. I mean, they've been taking note now.
So a great job there by Roberts using the body to hold the puck in as it was Siddons trying to float it on net, thrown to the corner. Then there's Nelson with it. Nelson, a nice saucer over to Hearn. A one-time shot by Roberts, missing the net there. As the Mavericks able to get it out of the zone. They're going to skate it in on the left side. A nice block there by Roberts. Got the puck up over to Siddons and a cross-ice pass over to Hearn. Now Hearn up over to Nelson. Nelson waits, tries a toe drag move. He's going to be poked off the puck there. And the Mavericks get it right back. Offsides. So that'll force the Mavericks back. As it's going to be Hearn with it now for the Jayhawks. On the left side. Hearn trying to backhand it to the corner. As Omaha is now full strength. They're on the power play for about the next 40 seconds or so. Siddons got it up to Schubert. Schubert left it for Siddons. Siddons curling around, shot through traffic, and a save made by Wernley.
Wernley making those timely saves, and he's getting the glove save on him, flashing the leather. I mean, it's just been absolutely a great performance from him. Jayhawks have 12 shots on 7 from the Mavericks, and all those Jayhawk shots, they've been great. One's gotten past him, but, I mean, Wernley, I got to give my props to him. He's been great this game, making those saves on those tough shots.
So the face-off, won back to Schubert. He'll try to wrap it around the boards, but the Mavericks with it. As they'll start play from back behind their own net, as it looks like it was Paul skating it up. Paul tried a shot, blocked up front, thrown to the corner, and it'll be Schubert racing after it for the Jayhawks. The Mavericks still have it now as it's Casiopo. His pass intercepted there by Vitullo, and Vitullo will carry it down as the Jayhawks are back to full strength. Vitullo will retreat it back over to Schubert. Schubert tried a cross-ice pass over to Walsh, a bouncing puck. Made things a little bit more complicated as it's to be backhanded into the zone by Feeney. Now racing to the corner was Zadakis. As the Mavericks get it right back. They try to wrap it around the boards, but Walsh able to jam it back in. And another penalty called here on Kansas, as it'll be number 18, Zach Zadakis, heading off for a trip.
Kansas needs to be a lot more disciplined. I mean, they've just been taking some pretty bad penalties here, and especially in a score so vital as this, something that the Jayhawks have to be a lot better about. You can't be giving Omaha these chances. As the lead grows higher, it's going to be a lot harder to get back, but the Jayhawks penalty kill has been pretty great this game. I mean, they've been making the Mavericks skate. They've been getting them tired. They've been doing what they're supposed to be doing, so I'm pretty confident in the Jayhawks' ability on this kill tonight.
So the face-off originally won by Kansas as they try to get it out. The Mavericks held it in, but it's going to be Dusso with it. Dusso is able to backhand it out of the zone. So the Mavericks have to regroup. As there was a pass over to Casiopo, falling down, took the shot as it sent wide. As it's going to be back behind the net now, over to Huppy. And curling around with it is Hunsicker. Hunsicker to Huppy. Huppy at the hash marks. He'll pass it to the deep slot. A shot blocked up front there, and it looked like it was Breyer getting a piece of it. And a nice use of the defensive stick there. Throws it to the corner. Duso able to complicate that play as it's Hunsicker. A shot from the point there by, I believe that was number 16. Fories sent the puck back behind the net. So it's going to be Sinnott with it now. Sinnott getting pressured there. Is this going to be wrapped around the boards? Nesson getting met there by number 19. That'll be Chubb. As fanning on the pass was Breyer. Instead, he'll choose to clear it all the way back down. And Wernley will settle it for Hunsicker. Hunsicker pressured there by Nelson, forced a pass over to Mercier. As it's passed back behind the Omaha net. The Mavericks with it through center. Pressured off. As they'll get it right back. Is this going to be Hunsicker curling around? 15 seconds left to go on the penalty kill for Kansas. As Mercier trying to pass it back behind the net. That play broken up. And Sidden's able to use the defensive stick. Sends the puck all the way back. And that'll just do it for the Omaha power play. So Zadakis out of the box. As it's Medina with the puck for the Jayhawks. As Medina getting pressured there around the neutral zone. As it's going to be Kozel with it for the Mavericks. Over to Mercier as it's poked off. Roberts with it now. Got it up to Siddons. Siddons on the right side. Tries to move towards center. He's going to be pressured at the corner. And he'll have to curl around at the hash marks. Got it to Roberts. Roberts tried to get it back over to Siddons, and the Jayhawks have to regroup and get back on side. Is this to be taken by Medina? Backhand pass over to Siddons. Siddons with it, pressured off, got it right back up to Medina, who just shot it high and wide, and a stoppage here.
Jayhawks staying perfect on the penalty kill. They've been going, they've been doing what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, even with the bad penalties tonight, they've still been doing great. Defense has been amazing tonight, but they're still letting some of those Omaha rushes in, which I think have definitely been hurting them and giving Omaha a lot of chances to try and get a lead on the game here. But as Jayhawks enter the offensive zone here at full strength, I think we'll see a big difference in their play.
Now Hearn passing it back to Medina, shot through traffic, sent wide. It'll be the Mavericks trying to send it out in the corner. Roberts holding the line, knocked it down, and it looks like a hand pass called on the Jayhawks. This stoppage coming with 2:55 left to go, as we're still tied at 1. Kansas leading the shot column 13-7. As it's the Mavericks with it off the face-off, poked off by Roberts. As Feeney trying to get it over to Siddons. Instead it'll be Roberts trying the headman pass, but it goes a little far. No icing as Siddons was close enough. Feeney trying to wrap it around the boards, got it to Siddons. Siddons trying to pass it up to Medina. Medina back to Siddons, who got it over to Hearn. Hearn, a toe drag move, shot through traffic. It was loose. Siddons on the rebound, and the Mavericks clear it, but can't get it out. As it was Walsh holding the line there. And he took a hit up high, and that'll get called.
All right, back at it. Jayhawks are going to be back on the power play here. Mavericks making some bad plays here, pushing them into the boards there. It's going to result in a power play for the Jayhawks. I think this is really their opportunity to try and get a score up on this. Mavericks getting tired. They're going to start pushing them around. And that, they took it too far. They're pushing them into the boards. He's going to get a penalty. The Jayhawks are going to be back on. Hopefully they can make a difference here.
So the Jayhawk power play gets another chance here. This is Duso. The puck finds its way over to Nelson now. Nelson to Duso once more in the deep slot. He tries to rip it through traffic. It was blocked up front. But a great job there by the Mavericks as they send it all the way back. Miles will play it up to Nelson. And Nelson will throw it across over to Nessa. Nessa to Nelson. Nelson still with it. Curls around. Waiting to do so. Back to Nelson. Nelson to Vitullo. Try to pass it to the slot, and the Mavericks able to poke it out. 1:30 left to go here in period number 2. 1-1 still our score. About 1:10 on the power play for the Jayhawks as it's a headman pass up over to Zadakis. Zadakis trying to back in it under the zone, and the Mavericks clear it back once more. Omaha having a phenomenal penalty kill so far tonight, as it'll be Siddons now from behind his own net. As he'll walk it into the zone now, throwing it to the corner around the boards. As it's going to be Zadakis now. Less than a minute to go here, period number 2. Do so from the deep slot, try to shot on net, and Warnley making another save here.
Jayhawks power play, I noticed something really interesting. As Omaha, when they're on the PK, what I've really seen is how they really like to clog up the lanes there. But whenever Nelson's on the puck, his speed is really outpacing them. It's going to make Omaha have to regroup and re-get those lanes, but Nelson's speed, it was just too much for him. Gave him a lot of great opportunities.
So the faceoff won by the Jayhawks and another stoppage immediately after.
Again, with some great face-off wins, immediately getting that shot off. I mean, you saw a couple weeks ago back at that OSU game, you saw that shot immediately off the face-off going to the goal. Hopefully we can get something more like that.
So Nelson, cross to do so, rips one through the point and sent back behind the net. Kansas still with it, and another stoppage here. And it looks like the net might have come off.
And, of course, all game, we've just seen the nets be coming off here. Earlier over on our end, the away end, we saw the net come off a lot. I guess probably something up with that. It didn't do too good with making sure that was staying in.
So another Jayhawk face-off win. This time it's back over to Duso. Over to Nelson. As it's passed up front, it looked like Nelson tried a shot there, sent it wide, but Duso on the rebound. Duso to Nessa. Now Nessa behind the goal line. And the Mavericks back to full strength, but Duso tried a backhand shot up front. As this could be Nelson to Duso from the deep slot. Rips one, blocked up front, thrown back behind the net. As the Mavericks have it, and that'll do it for period number 2. As we'll head off, tied at 1. 2 down, 1 to go. We'll be back in just a little bit. I'm Gabe Daniel alongside Jack Maurice. Period 3 coming in about the next 15 minutes or so. Welcome back for period number 3 inside Cable Dahmer Arena on the community ice side. I'm Gabe Daniel, joined alongside Jack Maurice as both teams are set to hit the ice here in a few seconds.
Here at late night at Cable Dahmer, we have the Cupid Shuffle going, keeping it really interesting for us, keeping it pretty fun here. As the Jayhawks take the ice back now for the period number 3.
As the Mavericks now making their way.
Shots are 13-7 Jayhawks. If they can keep up some of the offensive power that they've had earlier into the second period, I think we're going to have a much different game. Get some more high action, more goals. It's going to be near the end here. The Mavericks are nearing the end of their back-to-back games, while the Jayhawks are starting the first game of their weekend series against Omaha.
As the puck comes all the way back in the far corner as the Mavericks have to move it around. And there's a big hit there by Zach Roberts as the Mavericks chip it back the other way, as it's going to be Hearn with it. Hearn getting it up over to Dusso. Cross-ice pass over to Nelson. Nelson gets hauled down. No call made there, but you can hear the Omaha bench as they're fired up about that one, as it's going to be number 23 for the Mavericks wrapping it around. That was Howell off the boards, and it's going to be sent all the way back. No icing as Kozel was able to beat the race there. The net gets knocked off, and it looks like play will continue as Miles just had to fix it. As Vitullo has it in the zone. Vitullo still with it as he got it up over to Siddons. Now, Siddons pressured off the puck there by number 21. That was Ryan Huppy. And spinning around with it was Hunsicker, and he was able to draw the penalty there. And the Jayhawks will go back to the penalty kill.
I'm not too worried about the Jayhawks on the penalty kill tonight. They've been phenomenal. I think perfect on the penalty kill tonight. They've been great defensively. They've been great with breaking up a lot of options. They've also made the Mavericks just be skating around the entire rink, getting them worn out, keeping the pressure on them. Hopefully we can see more of that on this penalty kill here.
So the face-off won back by the Jayhawks as it was dumped down, and Nelson able to take it away. In the clear, shorthanded, has the puck swatted away, and Nelson still with it in the corner. And finally, Hunsicker will draw back behind his own net, and then he'll skate it up. Hunsicker through center ice as it was chopped into the zone, and an icing here on the Mavericks. And the play will come back down with 18-19 left to go in the game.
Looked like the ref had his hand up there. I thought something was about to be called, but I guess not.
Right off the face-off, a shot made by Zadakis. Zadakis still fighting to get the puck loose, and he's knocked down. But the puck will go to Hunsicker. Hunsicker poked away by Nelson. And the Mavericks get it right back over to Hunsicker. See, he's going to be pressured off the puck there. It's forced into the corner as it goes over to Chubb. And then a nice play there by Zadakis. Got the puck out of the zone, and Zadakis is going to carry it up with speed. He'll cut toward the right side before getting knocked down from behind. The Jayhawks wanting a call there, and then Zadakis trying to lay a big hit in the corner, and he's just flying everywhere right now. That's the kind of energy that the Jayhawks need and want early on here in the third period. As Mercier try to backhand pass, as it's forced over to Kozel. Kozel pressured and met by Duso, forces into the left side. Stops, waits, tries a shot, misses the net by a mile. It'll wrap around the boards. Held in there by Howell. Howell trying to pass it across, and Vitullo is able to get it out of the zone. Now Vitullo moving in. He'll cut towards the left side before trying to drop pass over to Duso. Instead, it goes right to the tape of Howell, and the Mavericks will regain possession. A drop pass to Mercier in the neutral zone. Mercier poked off by Vitullo. Duso will dump it down, and that pretty much does it for the power play by the Mavericks. 5 seconds left on the penalty. Kozel pressured back behind his own net, and Siddons is out of the box. And he'll just join the play here as it's forced to the corner, as it's picked up there by Paul. Siddons, a nice poke check there. Paul still with it, got it up over to number 14. That was Zachary Hoffman, as it was back behind the net for Miles. Miles left it for Walsh. Walsh's headman pass up to Medina, poked away there, but Walsh gets it right back, and he's able to settle it for Schubert. Zach Schubert having an impressive game so far, got it up over to Feeney. Feeney threw it to the corner, and Siddons right on it. As Medina was able to poke it away. Medina playing good physically there as the puck was held in. Thrown to the corner by Walsh, picked up by Siddons. Now Siddons will walk it up. Siddons stops, waits, tries to rip a shot, hit a man up front, and it's going to be held in by Schubert. Now Schubert played it to the corner for Feeney. Back to Schubert, trying to find Medina on the back door, but couldn't connect there as it was broken up there by Sikora. But it's going to be held in by Medina. Medina with it. Toe drag move, poked away by Paul. And the Mavericks lose possession as it was Siddons trying to get it up to Feeney. Feeney, he gets hauled down. Puck played up over to Siddons. Siddons pressured off. Taken away there by Chubb. Now Chubb cross ice over to O'Loughlin. His shot missing the net there as it's going to be wrapped around the boards. Back over to Hunziker. Just nearing 15 minutes left to go here in period number 3. Still tied at 1 as it's going to be Howell with it. On the right side, cuts through the slot, and shot missing the net there. Took a weird bounce, the net comes off. And we get our stoppage here with 14:53 left to go.
Yet another net taken off of the ice here. Big issue tonight, but otherwise, let's rewind back to that Jayhawks penalty kill. Obviously, you never want to be on the penalty kill, but I had to look back up at the board to make sure that I was seeing it right because the Jayhawks spent a lot of that time in the offensive zone, and they were making some great shots, some great plays, keeping it in. It almost seemed like the Jayhawks were the ones that were on the power play.
So off the glass, it's going to be sent up. Tyler Nelson racing after the puck, and he's going to spray Wernley with snow.
Nelson just having an amazing game tonight. The speed, the offensive prowess of Nelson is just, Omaha's taken notice. He's just been great tonight. Not a lot more you could ask from him. Along with Zach Schubert, his birthday legacy game, has been playing great tonight as well.
As the puck was loose, Wernley still had it. Nelson tried to fight it loose. Now Hearn walking in. He'll try to get a shot on net. Instead, it's tipped up front. Now Duso trying to throw it on net. Vitullo able to get the rebound. As Vitullo across to Duso, shooting one and a save made there by Wernley. As Duso still has it in the corner. Pressured off the puck there by Hunziker. As the Mavericks able to take it away. It's going to be skated out of the zone by Hoffman. Now Hoffman, the toe drag move, shot made, save made by Miles. And the Mavericks drawing it back to the deep slot. Pass over to number 16. And a save made there. And a stoppage with 14:04 left to go.
Oh my goodness, I am mind blown. That last shot there, wide open. The back door was wide open, but it looks like he fanned on it. Some great opportunities from the Jayhawks here. Wernley out of position there for a little while. Couldn't capitalize on it. He's been great all game, but looks like in that last possession there, they really knocked him off. had a lot of great opportunities. I mean, the offensive zone, the Jayhawks, they've had a lot better chances than the last couple of periods here tonight. I think they're going to be able to keep going and keep pushing here with some of the performances of some of our players tonight.
And then a little bit of an extracurricular there by number 14, Zachary Hoffman, sends him to the box. So the Jayhawks are on the power play as that face-off is won by the Jayhawks. So Vitullo has it now. Vitullo across over to Feeney. Now Feeney at the hash marks waiting. Instead he'll pass it the deep slot over to Blake Hearn. Now Hearn with it. Across to Feeney. Feeney waits, shoots off the shoulder of Wernley. Settled down in the corner to Roberts. And he tried to play it around. Unable to hold the line was Hearn, so the Jayhawks have to get back onside. And they'll draw it back over to Feeney. Now Feeney to Vitullo, who finds it to Hearn. Now Hearn will walk it in, lost control of the puck, and the Mavericks dump it back down. So Miles up to Feeney. Feeney for Hearn. As that's going to be skated in with speed, he'll cut towards the left side now. Hearn curling around the net, waiting for an open pass. Instead he'll get it across to Roberts. Roberts backhands it to Vitullo, and Vitullo will get it to Feeney. Now Feeney to Roberts. Back to Feeney. Feeney waits, tries a shot. Instead, he'll pass it across over to Hearn. And Hearn with it at the top of the circle and out of the deep slot. Over to Vitullo. Now Vitullo, he waits. He tries a shot, trying to find Feeney on the back door. Couldn't quite connect there as Roberts with a shot up front, just grazing through the crease there. As there's a heck of a net front battle there by Friedhoff. And that's easily getting under the skin there as Hearn shoots. He scores! Blake Hearn! Far down. 2-1 Kansas on the power play.
I mean, honestly, you love to see it. I mean, Friedhoff and Wernley exchanging some words at the net, getting him fired up. Looks like it might have distracted him for the fact that the puck was heading right towards him. I mean, just such a great goal, capitalizing on that opportunity. Wernley's got to be angry at that one.
The flurry of chaos, visibly frustrated, number 35, Kyle Wernley. As you can see, he wasn't expecting that shot from Blake Hearn. As that just goes far down, and the Jayhawks now lead with 12:30 left to go. And right off the hop, it'll be Vitullo. His shot going high. Took a weird bounce, but Vitullo right there picking up the rebound. Now Vitullo shaking off the puck there by number 21. But the Jayhawks getting it right back. And a stoppage here, and it looks like it might have been an offsides.
Hearn's been having a great game tonight, so I'm really glad to see him get that. I mean, he's been making some great plays. He's been just amazing defensively. I mean, he's just had a great game tonight. He's a very complete player, so it's good to see him get this kind of opportunity.
So now it's going to be Duso who chips it into the zone. The puck will wrap around the boards to Hunsicker as it's going to be taken away by Nelson. As it was Breyer who held it in, trying to throw it on net. Duso unable to get the tip in. Either way, it's a backhand pass that's going to be intercepted by Hunsicker once more. Bounce pass. Unable to hold the line was Nessa. Instead, it's going to be picked up there by Sikora. Now Sikora moving in, trying to backhand shot. Miles turning it aside. And it'll be Nelson wrapping it around the boards over to Duso. Duso unable to hold the line there as it's number 23, Matt Howell. Threw it into the corner as it's going to be Huppy with it. Huppy to the point, over to Hoffman. Hoffman tried a shot, blocked up front, and the Jayhawks get it out. As it's going to be Breyer, the defenseman with speed, moving in at the right side. He'll stop right at the hash marks. He'll wait, and still moving in with it before he's hauled down. And it'll be Huppy with it now. He tried to clear it out, goes up into the netting and out of play as we get the stoppage here with 11:08 left to go.
Miles doing great on that defensive play there. I mean, you saw him in his reflexes. He was quick to watch that back door. He wasn't going to get beat twice on that. He had his legs extended, making sure that he was covering just in case the Omaha player was waiting behind there. Great on.
So it's going to be Feeney with it in the corner. As he drops it back over to Medina. Medina stripped off the puck there, but Siddons goes in to help him out, and unable to hold the line there was Walsh, and there's a high stick here And that one caught Siddons up high.
See, does not look like it'll be called as a penalty, but yeah, does not look like anything will be called on that, but still got to make sure Jayhawks got to keep staying disciplined like that. I think Omaha is getting a little undisciplined with a lot of what they're doing there, throwing a lot, getting pretty lazy.
In the corner, the Mavericks haven't passed to the slot, broken up there as Medina tried to backhand it out of the zone. The Mavericks force it back in. As this can be around the boards over to Feeney. Now Feeney, he's pressured off the puck. But it's going to be Walsh skating it up. He gets it up over to Medina. Now it's going to be Medina on the left side. He'll move in, makes a fancy move around. Medina shooting one right to the chest of Wernley. And a stoppage here. That was a beautiful zone entry by Lance Medina. And you could see the frustration. He's just wondering, what does he have to do to get it past Wernley?
I mean, Wernley's still had a pretty great game tonight, but it looked like a lot of the Omaha defenders were just standing there. No movement, no nothing. Nothing they could really do about that. If Omaha really wants a chance of getting back in this game here, they got to put a lot more effort in how they're playing.
So Fantoni won the face-off over to Friedhoff. Friedhoff lost control of the puck. But it looked like Schubert unable to hold the line there as the puck just boggled up over his stick. So it's going to be dumped into the zone. Cole Walsh on the puck for the Jayhawks. Tries to wrap it around the boards, and a great job there using the body by Cade Friedhoff. Puck finds its way over to Zach Schubert. Schubert stops, waits, still with the puck. Able to wrap it around. This time he gets it to Friedhoff, and Friedhoff got it out of the zone, but it goes right to the tape of Huppy. Rather, that is O'Loughlin for the Mavericks. As it's going to be Fantoni for the Jayhawks. He chips it into the zone. And there's a nice hit in the corner there by Friedhoff as it's wrapped around. The headman pass to Schubert. As he shoots it in on net, Wernley will hang on for a whistle here. And the stoppage comes with 9:24 left to go.
Friedhoff really doing his best to get under the skin of a lot of the Omaha players. You saw a couple of them getting frustrated with him as he throws the body, gets under their skin, lets them know that he's always in the area.
And I mean, it's a 6'3" forward standing in front of a goalie who obviously has a disadvantage when it comes to the height.
I would be terrified. He's massive.
As Zach Roberts dumps it in, it rides around the boards. It's going to be picked up there by Howell. But Howell's going to be met by Caleb Dusso. As Dusso has it back behind the net, trying to throw it on net as he was falling. As it's going to be Dusso with it. As this is going to be Hunsicker. Across, intending it for Mercier. As it was Dusso trying to poke that puck loose for the Jayhawks. It ends up going back over to Roberts. Now Roberts on the right side. He'll backhand it in, and it's going to be picked up by Hunsicker across over to Howell. Howell tries to get it up to Mercier. Taken away by Hearn. Hearn gave the Jayhawks the lead as he's going to skate in. Tries a backhand shot up front. Puck still loose as Hearn gets it once more. As he tried to pass it to the slot. It's going to be skated out by Kozel. Kozel. Let's see if he has an answer for the Mavericks. Instead, he'll be offsides.
Omaha really doing their best to try and take back control of the game. They're starting to move a little bit slower, and I don't think that's just because they're getting a little more tired. I think they're just trying to do their best to take control of the game. The Jayhawks are flying. They're making great plays, and they're getting shots off the net there. Omaha's got to slow it down and make this game back.
As Huppy chipped it to the corner. As there's going to be a battle along the boards. Nessa for the Jayhawks knocked down one man. Couldn't tell who it was. But we get a stoppage here as the puck went up into the netting.
Jayhawks doing their best there to try and get that out. I mean, they've still been doing great defensively. I mean, the difference from the first period to now, it's just night and day. The Jayhawks were doing pretty terrible on defense. We're doing a good job of getting those plays out They're allowing a lot of rushes, but I mean, the Jayhawks have been doing a whole lot better at making sure that this game stays in the offensive zone.
As the puck was wrapped around over to Feeney. Now Breyer, one of the Jayhawks, trying to get it out as it finds its way to Nessa. Back over to Feeney. Left it for Siddons. Siddons caught it back from Feeney. Siddons waiting. A saucer pass for Nessa. Try to throw it on net, but it's blocked up front. Hit a body. Nessa able to poke that one away. And a big hit there on the boards by Feeney. Nessa walking in, trying to pass it across over to Medina on the back door as that's poked away. Now it's going to be a headman pass up for Hoffman. Hoffman waiting, dragging, shooting, blocked up front there. And a big play by Kansas as it's going to be Breyer. He's going to walk it in. Instead, he'll try to shoot it from the neutral zone. That one.
What a great
up into the net.
I mean, that was amazing. The Jayhawks are making sure that they know that this is their game. And, I mean, just great plays there. They're getting big hits, big defensive plays, and they're getting some great shots off. Omaha's got to be scared.
Another face-off win by Kansas. Schubert shooting that one right away. And right to the glove of Wernley.
Love to see Schubert get a birthday goal tonight. Deserves it. He's had a great game tonight.
So right off the face-off, sent over to Zadakis. Zadakis able to stay on his feet, maintaining possession. Zadakis try to throw a pass over to Walsh, and there's a big hit made by Friedhoff back behind the net. Walsh with it, trying to wrap it around Zadakis now. There's Zadakis waiting. Over to Fantoni. Now Fantoni, he'll walk it down to the hash marks. Before trying to backhand shot on Wernley. And the whistle blew before the puck trickled in. And you see Fantoni just apologizing to Wernley. You know he didn't mean to crash into Wernley like that.
Props to Zadakis on that offensive possession. I mean, the way that he was keeping that puck in, the way he's fending off everybody trying to go at him, I mean, he was really the one that was getting that offensive zone started. I mean, it's a great possession, great shots for the Jayhawks. If they can keep going, keep crashing, it's going to be great.
So the face-off won over to Schubert. Schubert holding the line, sends it back into the corner, racing after it. There was Hunsicker. He got it over to Casiopo, and it looks like the Mavericks will ice the puck. And there's going to be a penalty called here on Cole Walsh. And it looks like roughing is the call.
Jayhawks going back on the penalty kill, though, but again, they've been great on the kill this game. They've been making sure to get those passes out, and honestly, it seems like they've been treating it more like a power play. The way that they were shooting that around on the last PK, if we can get some more action like that, I think the Jayhawks do have a chance to kind of widen their lead there. They've been so great on that, and Omaha's got to realize what they got to change things up if they really want to get a shot off.
So 6:05 to go. Period number 3. The Jayhawks lead by 1, but they're on the penalty kill as the Mavericks have possession. There's pressure there by Tyler Nelson. Forces a pass across over to Kozel. Kozel tries a shot. Miles jumping out to make the save for that one, and we get a stoppage here with 5:48 left to go.
Omaha starting off that penalty kill with a lot of puck movement there. It really seems like they've been trying to stay in their own zones on that one. I think we're going to see a lot more of that and a lot more shots getting off there.
So it looks like the Jayhawks able to dump this one out of the zone. Wernley playing it back behind the net for number 23, Matt Howell. Howell left it for Kozel. Kozel will swing down on the right side. Before going around the goal line, try to drop pass, and the Jayhawks able to take that one away as it trickles out of the zone. And back after it is Howell. Howell. Pass over to Hoffman. Hoffman, the head man, up over to Chubb. Chubb poked off the puck by Nelson, and he's able to dump it down, and he'll race after it. Now Wernley left it behind the net for Howell. Is this going to be up to Kozel? Kozel stops, blew a tire there. As it's going to be over to Breyer. Breyer across over to Nessa. Nessa will skate it in. He tries a shot blocked up front. As it'll be Mercier throwing it back behind the net over to Sinnott. Sinnott left it for Hunsicker. Hunsicker, a pass across over to Huppy. And it looks like a stoppage here.
Looks like Zadakis goes flying across the ice. I couldn't tell if something was up, if he was getting shoved, if he got tripped, or what had happened there.
Thinking it was just an offsides on Omaha. Either way, 4:18 left to go. Penalty kill so far successful for the Jayhawks as it's up over to Feeney, who tried to chip it into the zone, but it's deflected the other way. Now Nessa over to Siddons. Siddons tried to toe drag around. One-man shot up high and over the net, and it'll ride the boards around over to Huppy. Huppy across over to Sinnott, and it's going to be poked away by Siddons. Siddons tries a shot, tipped off the glove of Wernley, and Feeney to the corner for Medina. Now Medina toe drags around one man before it's forced back the other way. Now it's going to be Siddons with it, getting pressured along the boards. And it'll be taken away by Huppy, who gets it up over to Casiopo. It's to be poked the other way by Nessa. As the puck flew in the air, it's going to be gloved down, and a hand pass will be called, and no one on the Omaha bench happy about that one.
Jayhawks doing a great job this game with the poke. Doesn't really seem like Omaha's doing a good job of protecting the puck. They've left it open a lot of times, which has allowed the Jayhawks to poke it away, get more offensive chances, and get it out of their control.
Now it's going to be a face-off Juan over to Vitullo. He's going to quickly chip it to the corner. As this is going to be Howell with it, getting pressured off the puck there. Vitullo crashing the boards, able to gather himself as it's cross-ice pass to Kozel. Shot blocked away by Miles. A shot by Mercier, this time turned aside. As this going to be a foot race for the puck, and it looks like the Mavericks got there first, and the Jayhawks offside. Riley Vitullo unable to get back on as Tyler Nelson was trying to enter the zone. So it gets us another stoppage, this time with about 3:04 left to go. The Jayhawks still leading that shot column 19-11. As it's going to be Dusso with it. Dusso up to Nelson, poked off the puck there, but it's going to be Caleb Dusso getting it in the corner. Has Tyler Nelson helping him out with that battle, but it's going to be Howell taking it away. As it'll be Mercier skating it in. As we're just under 3 minutes to go now. Desperation should be hitting soon for Omaha, as I would expect Wernley to head to the bench within the next minute or so. As this could be Dusso trying to get it out of the zone. Holding the line there was Hunsicker. As it's going to be Hearn trying the headman pass up over to Nelson. As the Mavericks able to chip it back in. A nice stick lift battle there as the Jayhawks able to get it back. As it'll be Dusso who chipped it up. It's going to hit the body of number 16, Fories. As Fories will try to skate it up. Fories, saucer pass up over to Hoffman. Jayhawks try to send it back the other way as it was going to be Fantoni. Now to Friedhoff. Friedhoff on the right side. As he gets hit into the Omaha bench. As this going to be a pass across over to Hoffman. Hoffman's head man up over to Huppy. And it looks like Wernley waiting for the call from his coach. As it's Friedhoff. fighting the puck out of the zone, forces it to the neutral zone. 1:30 left to go. This is going to be a crossover to O'Laughlin, who sent it up. Now Schubert with it. Schubert lost control. As the Mavericks have it, and they score to tie things up. So the flurry of chaos. And judging by the celebration, it looks like that was number 14, Zachary Hoffman.
I was really surprised at how that was going there, as it looked like there was a lot of miscommunication on the Omaha bench about who was going out. I mean, it was insane that actually ended up going through. Wernley didn't know if he was wanting to be called off or not.
So the face-off won by the Mavericks. They lost control, as it's going to be Medina intercepted the pass there, as it was going to be Siddons. But it's going to be Nessa holding the line. He'll drive it in to the zone. It hit a man up front, so it got sent to the corner, but it's going to be Feeney back behind the net, up front over to Siddons. Now Feeney behind the net. Feeney drawing around, up to Breyer. From the point, toe drags around one man. It's going to be poked away there by Casiopo. Casiopo on the left side, threw it across. Miles comes out to play it. Ill-advised play there, but the Jayhawks able to bail him out. It looks like Feeney got knocked down. In the corner, there's a nice hit there by Nessa. Kozel with it, shot just sailing high and wide. And it looks like it'll be Feeney trying to get it out of the zone. Got it up over to Medina. Now Medina across to Siddons. Siddons shooting, kicked away there by Wernley. And it's going to be wrapped around the boards and held in by Nessa until it's poked out by Mercier. This could be knocked down with Dusso, the team captain. About 10 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be Siddons trying to center it to Dusso. Shoots. His 5-hole, it's loose, and it's going to be covered by Wernley with 4.3 seconds left to go.
Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he was wide open. He had that right there. I mean, it just really goes to show Wernley's had a great game tonight. Saving that last-minute shot that could have just ended it for him. Instead, we're going in tied 2-2 with 4 seconds left in this third here. As Omaha just crashes around in front of the net.
The most important face-off of the night. Breyer cranks it and it was blocked up front. And for the first time this season, the Jayhawks will have an overtime game. The overtime rules, it'll be the same as the NCAA, 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. Nobody scores and ends in a tie.
That was a scary last-second play there. I mean, it really looked like Miles didn't have a good grasp on where the puck was, and it was going around. It was good on the Jayhawks for bailing him out. And then that last-second shot that almost went in. It was pretty eventful last minute of the game.
This is the second night in a row that the Omaha Mavericks have gone into OT.
I have no idea how Omaha is going to be doing this tomorrow. 3 games in a row, 2 of them going into overtime. They've got to make sure that they are well ready for tomorrow.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of 3-on-3 matchup we get here. I would assume it has something to do with Tyler Nelson and Caleb Dusso for the Jayhawks.
I think they've been really strong this game. If we can get them both on a line here for overtime, as soon as we get one break, it's going to be pretty easy for them to get a good shot off. I mean, Nelson's just had a phenomenal game, showcasing his speed and his stick handling tonight. He's just been great, and it does look like that Nelson will be going out tonight.
Yeah, so it'll be Nelson and Nessa, and it looks like Caleb Dusso as well. Teams will not be changing sides.
As it looks like Omaha is still talking amongst themselves here, trying to figure out who is going out.
So for the first time this season, the Jayhawks will have an overtime game. Team captain Caleb Dusso taking the face-off for the Hawks. As Kansas wins it, it's Nessa drawing it back over to Dusso. Duso will patiently wait back behind his own net before they get the play going. Then it's going to be Duso moving up with speed through center. Oh, he can fly. It's Duso moving in with one man. He'll get pushed to the corner, stopping at the hash marks. Now Duso button hooks around, moving in, curling back around. Duso still with it at the hash marks once more. This will head towards the deep slot now. Pass patiently over to Nelson. Nelson opened up the scoring for the Jayhawks today as he's going to be stopped in the deep slot, moving in. Nelson, a dipsy doodle move. Oh! Let's go home, baby! Tyler Nelson, the OT hero.
Absolutely just embarrassed Worley. Wow, what a play. Absolutely stick handles through him. Just, that was amazing. What a great play by Nessa. If you guys couldn't see there of how he was blocking up that lane, didn't let another man get on him, as Nelson just goes through and just undresses Worley.
And it looks like Omaha trying to talk the officials here. But it looks like that'll be it for tonight, as Tyler Nelson, the overtime winner, as the Jayhawks take game one 3-2. As that's the second night in a row the Omaha Mavericks have lost 3-2 in overtime. And you can see Worley just defeated.
I mean, massive props to Worley tonight. He played a phenomenal game. I don't really think he should be disappointed at this. He had a phenomenal game tonight. He was making all the right saves, taking away a lot of Jayhawks chances as Duso comes over. Talk to him about that there. Gives his respects. I mean, absolutely deserved. Worley played a heck of a game tonight.
So less than a minute into overtime. Again, Nelson just making a dipsy doodle move. He's able to beat Worley, and that decides the game here tonight. Again, the final score 3-2. Jayhawks led the shot column 20-12 as well. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon around 2 o'clock for game 2 of this weekend series. Again, I'm Gabe Daniel, joined alongside Jack Maurice. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow afternoon.